something good is happening, like genuinely good. He's consistent. He messages back. He remembers things you told him. He likes you clearly, obviously, without game playing. And instead of feeling happy, you feel weird, suspicious, itchy, like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So you start doing something. Maybe you pick a fight over nothing. Maybe you suddenly become very unavailable. Maybe you start finding things wrong with him that didn't bother you before. Maybe you just disappear. Sound familiar? Because you're not alone and you're not broken, but something is happening that's worth understanding. So this is the pattern. The pattern goes something like this. Things start good. You start to relax. You start to actually care. And then the fear kicks in. What if this goes wrong? What if he realizes I'm not as great as he thinks? What if I let myself fully want this and then it's taken away? What if I'm too much, not enough, both at once? And instead of sitting with that fear, you do something about it. You create distance. You test him, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. You manufacture a reason to leave before he can. Because leaving first hurts less than being left. The tragedy is, in doing that, you often end the very thing you were hoping for. Not because it was wrong, but because you couldn't let yourself believe it could be right. So the psychology behind this. So what's happening here is something called a fear of intimacy. And it's more common than most people know. Now, real intimacy means being fully seen. Your actual self, not the version you curate, not the version that's performing, not the version that has it all together. Your actual self with all its mess and contradiction and history. And for a lot of us, being that visible feels terrifying because at some point we were that visible and it didn't go well. So the self-protective part of your brain learns closeness equals risk. If you don't let anybody fully in, you can't be fully hurt. So the push away is protection. It's your nervous system doing its job, keeping you safe from a threat it learned about a long time ago. Now the problem is it's protecting you from the thing you want most. So the root of this. Now for a lot of women who do this, somewhere in their history, there was a moment or many moments where being loved didn't feel safe. A parent who was unpredictable, a first love that ended in humiliation, a relationship where you opened up and got hurt or even shamed. And your nervous system filed that away. Vulnerability leads to pain. Love leads to loss. So now when love shows up in a form that feels real, stable, genuine, caring, your system doesn't say, finally, it says, danger. Because being truly loved means being truly exposed. And exposure is where you've been hurt before. Self-sabotage isn't self-destruction, it's self-protection that's misdirected. Your nervous system is trying to help you. It just doesn't know that things are different now. So here's the shift. Step 1. Name what you're actually afraid of. When you feel the urge to pull away and withdraw, get specific. What are you actually afraid will happen? Write it down. Naming the fear takes some of its power. I'm afraid that if he really knows me, he'll leave. It's something you could possibly work with. And step 2, do the opposite in small doses. You don't have to leap into full vulnerability overnight, obviously, but choose one moment where instead of withdrawing, you stay. You show one real thing. You let one good thing in without second guessing it. Think of it like building a new reference point for your nervous system. Proof that intimacy doesn't always lead to pain. And step 3, tell someone safe what you're doing. If you're in a relationship with someone patient and trustworthy, consider naming the pattern to them. Like, for instance, I do this thing where I create distance when I'm scared and I'm trying to work on it. That one sentence changes everything. It turns self-sabotage into something you can face together. So the goal isn't to never feel scared of love. The goal is to stop letting the fear make decisions for you. So this week, just notice the moment you want to create distance. Don't try to override it. Just ask, is it my fear choosing for me? Because you're allowed to want love. You're allowed to let someone be good to you. That's not naive. That's brave. So comment below if this is you, even just, I do this. And if you want to talk about why we stay in the wrong relationships even longer than we push away the right ones, that's in episode 5. And I'll see you in the next video.